What's good? This your boy Boss, and I just wanted to talk about a topic that was going on maybe a week or two ago. Um, the goat, one of the goats, one of my goats, Sean Carter, Jay Z, HOVA, Hova, the God. He hopped on Twitter Spaces with Alicia Keys, Rob Markman, a lot of people in the industry, and Rob Markman posed the question of would Jay Z ever do a versus? So Jay Z, being who Jay Z is, said, "Can't nobody stand on that stage with me." Now, that statement from Jay Z made a lot of uproar and a lot of people talking, a lot of Jay Z dick riders, and a lot of Jay Z fans pretty much saying, "Can't nobody fuck with Jay on that stage." And one of the statements that Jay Z made was, "What are they gonna do when I perform Grammy Family Freestyle?" Now, if y'all don't know, Grammy Family Freestyle is just a freestyle that they did years ago. It ain't nothing that special. And if he performed it on stage, that wouldn't be nothing special to me. Now, to a Jay Z dick rider, that would be a lot. Now, me personally, I think there's a couple people that can stand on the stage with Jay Z. One of those people being Kanye West. Another one of those people being Lil Wayne. And also, I think Drake could stay on that stage with Jay Z. Now, a lot of the people that just heard these three names that I said will be like, "What are you out your mind? Kanye, Drake, and Wayne cannot stand on the stage with Jay Z." Now, the problem that I have with Verzuz, I think Verzuz is dead. I've been saying this over a year. Like, Verzuz has been dead. Verzuz was only fire to me when the pandemic first happened and people was on Instagram going song for song, not performing the songs, just playing the songs, going song for song. That's when Verzuz was fire to me. Then they start this performing shit, and I feel like people forgot what a Verzuz was actually supposed to be. It's supposed to be your 20 best songs. Now, it was an anomaly that happened not too long ago where the Locks went up against Dipset in the Verzuz. Now, when that Verzuz first came about, people with a brain knew that Dipset had that win in the bag. But when you get on the stage, you got Jadakiss taking over the mic and taking over the crowd and winning the crowd over. The Locks end up winning that Verzuz. There's no way in hell that the Locks should win a Verzuz against Dipset. Now, that's not to say that the Locks are not a good group or the Locks is trash. They're all formidable MCs and they have great songs, but we're talking about Dipset, bro. Like Cameron, Jim Jones, Joel Santana. Like, we talking about Dipset. There's no way in hell that Dipset should have lost the Verzuz to the Locks. But that's what I'm getting at. I feel like people done forgot what a Verzuz is actually is. It's your best 20 songs. And if we talking about your best 20 songs, Kanye has a 20 that would win against Jay-Z. Wayne has a 20 that can win against Jay-Z. Drake has a 20 that can win against Jay-Z. Now, the problem that I have with Verzuz and the problem we run into with a Verzuz is that a Verzuz can be biased depending on where they hold the Verzuz, like where they gonna do it. They can't have a Jay-Z Verzuz and hold it in New York because that's an automatic win for New York. All the old heads in New York and everybody that grew up on Jay-Z is gonna give Jay-Z the automatic win. So they need to find a common ground where there cannot be any bias. Say maybe do it in LA or something like that, and maybe it'll be a fair fight. But for Jay-Z to hop on Twitter Spaces and say can't nobody stand on that stage with him, I call bullshit. At the same time, it's Jay-Z, and when you're such a god MC and you know who you are and you're comfortable with who you are, Jay-Z didn't say nothing wrong. He's supposed to say that. He's not supposed to say, well, It's a couple people that might could be on the stage with me. He's supposed to be confident when he say that, but at the same time, the problem I have is people. It's the people. It's the fans saying that's running with the narrative, saying, "Oh, Jake will watch this person or watch that person." I don't believe that. Kanye can go toe to toe with Jay-Z in the Verzuz. Lil Wayne can go toe to toe with Jay-Z in the Verzuz, and I believe Drake can go toe to toe with Jay-Z in the Verzuz. Because when you think about it, it's all gonna come down to bias, and it's gonna come down to age gaps. When we look at these verses, it really comes down to who you grew up with, and then a lot of people that will be watching these verses. If it was a Jay verse, it would be a lot of old heads in the crowd and online rooting for Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? But it's an age gap. I feel like the best verses for Jay-Z would be for Kanye because they came out kind of at the same time, and it would be kind of a fair fight because if it was Jay-Z and Drake, that would be too much of an age gap. It would be too much of a generational gap, and it wouldn't work to me. But for Jay to say can't nobody stand on stage, I just call bullshit on that. But at the same time, I understand where he's coming from. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about this situation. Do you think anybody can stand on the stage with Jay-Z and go toe-to-toe 20 songs, song for song with him? Or do you believe what Jay-Z is saying, that can't nobody stand on that versus stage with him? We have people like Kodak Black coming out saying that he would want to do a versus with Jay-Z, and in all honesty, I fuck with Kodak, but Jay-Z will watch Kodak in a versus. But then again, like I said, it goes back to who's watching. It's a generational gap. These new kids and these new people might never ever heard a Jay-Z song, or maybe they know who Jay-Z is, but they just think of Jay-Z as Beyonce's husband. They don't know all the classic hits that Jay-Z has. So it all comes to anybody's opinion. But to me, the three people I think that can stand on the stage with Jay-Z is Kanye, Drake, and Wayne. Let me know who you think can stand on the stage with Jay-Z in the comments below. But like I always say, man, I really appreciate y'all watching my videos. Thank y'all. And like I always say, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell notification so you know when your boy drop a new video. I'll catch y'all in the next one. I'm out. Peace.